me the greatest honor of all to invite the living legend himself, Shri.K. Parasaran, to deliver the acceptance address. Sir, please.
Namaste say. I stand with some trepidation. Before I start my speech, let me first follow the formality of addressing the galaxy of the dais. The Honorable Justice of the Supreme Court, the Honorable Justice Kavanaugh, Lord Justice Sudesh, Lord Justice Narasimha, Lord Justice Viswanathan, Lord Justice Mahadeva, the Lord Chief Justice of Madras High Court, Srivastava, the Lord Justices of the Madras High Court, Justice Sudha and Ramesh, the officers of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, Sri Prabhakaran, my beloved friend, the Vice Chairman of the Bar Council of India, the Chairman of the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, Mr. Amal Raj, the Vice Chairman, Mr. V. Karthikeyan, the present and former judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court, my esteemed brothers and sisters of the legal fraternity. I told you that I start with the trepidation. The reason is I have participated in so many functions where there will be one judge or two judges. Today, I am seeing and I am before a constitutional bench of Supreme Court of 5 judges. That is not alone, but I find a combination. A full bench of the Madras High Court. How will a lawyer address a constitutional bench of Supreme Court and a full bench of the Madras High Court? So, as I told you, I feel panicky already. I come to a second problem. My ignorance of language. I heard Sanskrit. I heard Telugu. Bharatiyar sang saying, Sundara Teluginare participate. Very melodious Telugu. I heard chaste Tamil by the Honorable Justice Sudesh. I heard good English. I heard good Sanskrit. I heard so many languages. But I am free to confess to you, Tamil தெரியாது, Hindi नहीं मालूम, तेलुगु తెలియదు, మలయాళం అరింగిల్లా, సంస్కృతం జ్ఞానామి, English I don't know. In what language shall I speak? I'll attempt, but please forgive me for all my faults, because my life has been one of mistakes. And from every mistake, I learned. But for those mistakes, I would never have learned. But people talk to me about my professional career. I owe everything in my life to a most revered father. I was used to type whenever typing was absent in an emergency time. I used to sit in a corner of the office room when I had no work and listen to my father discussing law. He laid the foundation for me, not only in law, but on ethical values. He was a scholar in Sanskrit, Tamil, English, and Latin. can speak Latin, he can write Latin, he knew the entire Moyle's Roman law. He can speak freely Telugu, unlike me. And he will quote from people like Potana Vemana. Once I wanted a text, I requested my friend, he wrote it and gave it to me. Therefore, what is important is, he taught me is ethical values and one's duty to society. He said, duty is the most important. Law only is imposed to enforce the performance of duty. The Shastras say, they never say, don't do this, don't do this. It says, do this duty, do this duty, do this duty. Matu Deva Bhava, Pitra Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava, Adya Deva Bhava, everything it says duty, 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 duty. If all of us perform our duties well, nobody's rights will be affected. They will not be harassed every weekend with 50 SLPs. But it is when we fail in our duty, all problem arises. Honor and shame on no condition arises. Do your duty well, there all the honor lies. That the greatest honor is if a man has discharged his duty. Just Vikramath referred to Bhagavad Gita. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma paleshu katacharana. One's duty is, one's obligation is to perform his duty and not to see his what is if it is a fruit I will get. It is sometimes wrongly interpreted. What it really means is your portfolio is perform your duty. It is my portfolio, it is God's portfolio to decide what is the fruit you are entitled to for the duty you have performed. That is why he said, you only are considered your duty, not if you do this, will you get that. That is for him to decide. That should be the life. And my father taught me, we must maintain the highest dignity of the court. It is the institution of the God of temple of divinity. When you enter the court hall, bear in mind you are entering the abode of the God of divinity. Don't forget this. Because proceedings before a court are solemn proceedings. And when you are addressing a court, you must only see a judge and nothing else. And when you argue before a court, how learned a lawyer must be, you please argue with a presumption that the one sitting there knows more than what you know. Never be presumptuous. Most important thing he said was, never be aggressive when answering a judge. Be submissive. Because when you appear before a court, it's a supplication. Not that the lawyer is supplicating. He is supplicating on behalf of somebody else. My father taught me all these things from Roman law. In the Roman law, a plaint, it is just a Latin word, mourning. That is, somebody comes and mourns. Injustice has been done to me. That the court only hears. Then he says, he is saying somebody did injustice, bring him here. He comes. Then he asks for an answer. That is why they decreased out this cause coming out for hearing. That is origin from Roman. The court hears and decides by application of mind and according to the law which is according to justice. Very often we argue law or justice, law or justice. What do you do in a conflict? They will never go on conflict. Because if you answer your conscience, you will answer both law and dharma. like Saint Germain, one of the greatest of orderlies of the church. He said in a lecture to young lawyers, he said, God has blessed everyone with good conscience. This is like a small lamp in a very dark room. It will show what are all the things in the room are. And the conscience will tell you what is right, what is wrong. If you answer your conscience, you will be right. But we never answer our conscience. We choose that which is convenient. That is a problem arises. A good conscience. That's what Saint Germain said. And I said, don't be aggressive. Because I must at least say one thing in Tamil. Because I'm a great scholar who talked in Tamil. Therefore, வெட்டனவை மெத்தனவை வெல்லாவாம் வேதத்தில் பட்டு ஊறும் கோல் பஞ்சிற் பாயாது நெட்டிருப்பு பாறைக்கு நெக்கு விடா பாறை பசு மரத்தின் வேருக்கு நெக்கு விடும். The root of a grass can enter between two rocks. A bar, an iron bar cannot enter. This is what is said. There was a very apt quotation by Narasimha. Ravichandro Ganavrucha Nadi Gavasta Sajjana Ete para Upakaraya Puvi Daivena Nirmita. It is what he quoted. And I see before me on either side only sajjans. Sajjans are those who do that which is good for the country and the society. They don't bother with themselves. These are judges of the highest court, the Supreme Court, the highest court in the state, the High Courts, which is not subordinate to the Supreme Court. All of them a fraternity of judges. The Supreme Court is only a constitutional appellate court against the High Courts. That is all. That is 124. When it mentioned appointment of Supreme Court judges, the President, after consulting such judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court, High Court is forgotten. They are equals, they are members of a family involved in the administration of justice. They alone are the two highest institutions because both are constitutional institutions. The others are all statutory institutions. Both are constitutional. I told about justice and law. In the High Court, the motto is Satyameva Jayate. In the Supreme Court, the motto is Yato Dharmas Tato Jaya. Therefore, koi Yato Dharmas Tato Jaya in Supreme Court, koi the law in the High Court. Yeah. That is because they can never conflict. Law according to justice is Dharma. Dharma is law according to justice. All the three qualities, they don't conflict. This is essence. This is the entire chapter of the war and the bondage. Both are equally important. They are on a pedestal, but we stand here. They are the two wings of the bird of justice. If anyone does not function properly, the bird will not fly high, it will fall down. Therefore, they are two wings of the bird of justice. They are the adjudicating partners, we are the advocating partners. Therefore, this is that is why it is a noble discharge duty by judges. Nobility, it is that nobility of the judges who has made 4 judges come all the way to Madras to talk a few words about this small person. These small persons also count in a society. Churchill said, a little man with a little slip enters a little room and puts in a little box a slip. There was a small man What does it lead to? It leads to the governance of the country. But that small man today does not know even what is receipt, what do I do, where do I put. That's where all our problems start. Someone said about values and integrity and honesty. That's very important. If there is no corruption, the country will be true. But there is a problem. Problem is the question mark of what is wanting. That's why to put them on proper lines, the highest courts, the Supreme Court and the High Courts. And that is why people to assist these institutions, the lawyers. That is our role. And it has been my humble effort. I learned not only law, but morality from my father. First, mother. Janani Janmabhumi se Surga Tapi Gari Jesi. First comes mother, then comes the country where you are born, Janmabhumi. Then comes paradise or the heavens or God. This is the order. I lost my mother and there's only hardly 5, not even 5. But I still remember her noble face. I owe it to my stepmother who took care of me after my 5 years, and till I was able to know myself, eat myself, attend to myself. And I am lucky and blessed in my wife. Now that the husband is boasting about his wife, we had an understanding. We said both of us can't do all work. This is what was told by my colleague, Justice Jagadish, in a meeting. So they entered into an agreement. What is the agreement? My wife said, you will do the work, labor, division of duty of earning. The duty of spending is mine. This is the division of labor between us. Because one can't do both the work. I said, all right. Why did I say, all right? Because he took care of all the responsibility. By putting my children in school, getting them dressed, getting them what food they like, putting them in college, everything she took care of. I don't know anything. Somebody asked me, when my son was standing by my side, in what class he is reading? I said, he is reading in the 3rd form. She said, what is the dog? He is reading in the 5th form. This was my knowledge of my domestic affairs. And she said another understanding. What? All money. I started as a small lawyer. Trying to send 15 rupees, 20 rupees as fees. Today if you say it, there is always surprise. Because Chief Justice Bhattacharya in open court said, today they have seen an advocate's fee in the Supreme Court. The attorney will forgive me, Mr. Raman will forgive me. The fees of a senior advocate today is a king's ransom. That's what Chief Justice Bhattacharya said. Profession is not money. We are not worshippers of mammon. We are worshippers of justice. I don't say they do not charge a high fee. They require a staff, they require juniors, they have to purchase books, they have to maintain a library. Books are today very costly. That's what I'm not saying. But charge well, but charge what is needed, what is required for your rainy days. I have heard 2 things. It has been verified, I may be right or wrong. Alexander, the Macedonian emperor, went to so many places to conquer and amass wealth. Before his death, he said, if what all I have plundered are taken as gold coins, and soon when I go, I can't get down and pick one. This is what he said. Ultimate life is not a bank balance of 3,000 crores. What can anybody do with that amount? It is ultimately, what is it? You have contributed to the society in which you are born. From which you got everything in your life. You have everything. I got everything. As a lawyer, my body, flesh and blood, everything from him. To me, he was God, Guru, and everything in my life. There are some people gossiping. It's a personal affair. I can't send it in a public meeting, but I want to conclude with that. There was some gossips that first my son quarreled with the father, started a private practice. It was not that. There might be always some difference between members. But one day I was sitting alone with my father in the morning in the office room. It was a half an hour talk. We discussed. Ultimately, he guided me. A plant under a tree never grows. If you are with your own father, you won't grow. You must work on your own. People, when anyone put his son, no Indian under KK Voluku. Under a son, a lawyer, his son will not grow. He must work elsewhere. So he said, work, you choose. I said, no. If I work with you. Otherwise, I do it on my own. He said, set a private practice. Then, if you say so, stand on your own legs. Only if you are in dire need, come to me. I started a humble life. 15 rupees, 20 rupees was my fees. I issue notices for 5 rupees. Ramnath clients will come because I hail from the district. He will give 35 rupees to file a CRP. 20 rupees will be spent. 15 rupees will be there. And he goes back to Ramnath. Yasama, ரூபா கொஞ்சம் குறையிறது ஒரு 10 ரூபா வேணும்னு முடியும். So he will take 10 rupees, I get 5 rupees. But 56 separate practice. I struggled for 4 years. After 61, I started building a work. After 62, I was comfortable. After not year, 1963, I started recruiter practice. That is, after 12 years, my practice increased. And only once I applied, I sought something. I applied for part-time law college lecturer because I was in need. I was not selected. because I was a gold medalist in BA in Sanskrit. I was gold medalist in Hindu law in BA. I was a gold medalist in Barclays examination of Justice Islamica. They said, these are worthy disqualifications. Nagapan had been a part of history in law college. I should not refer to him as Nagapan, forgive me. He is the Honorable Mr. Justice C. Nagapan, a former judge of the Supreme Court. That is life. Life is God ordered, destiny. Life, birth, is not a terrific accident of the bedroom. Death is also a terminal accident of the sick room. They are destined. In between comes life. Destiny may play its role, but you can also play your role in that. How you live your life, that is in your hands. If one has lived the life in the way one ought to live, with the blessings of God, he has done what he has to do by the Creator, by creating him. And that is life. I am sorry I took you time, particularly when you all started at 10:30, we are nearing 2:30. Oh, I gone to beyond. Your stomach will always be ringing within the bell. It is time for lunch. Please forgive me. And I may be elder to you many of you in ages, but this is a sadhus. all of you collectively are above. You have got a right to bless me. Please do bless me with all of you as others bless me. I have reached 98. You know, after 98, nobody is going to live very long. But whatever remaining life is given, let me live comfortably, is what I seek every moment. Thank you all very much.